Welcome back again, everyone. I'm Lynn Doyle. This is It's Your Call. We're giving you an opportunity to tell us what you think about some companies' decision to hire only non-smokers. If you want to join in, still time for you to email us. We're going to go back to the telephone lines because Heather is waiting. Hey, Heather, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I appreciate the call. Listen, what do you think about this idea? Do you support it or are you opposed to it?
I completely support it. I think that it's. I think that companies have a lot of expenses right now. We're in a recession, and it's to. Have this horrible habit that affects other people and expect it to affect other people financially as well is just not such a great thing.
When you hear that people use the word discrimination, that smokers are being discriminated against, do you see it as the same as like being discriminated against because of your race or your age or your sex?
No. Legal discrimination is what you're born with. You can't change it. If you're a smoker, you've picked up that habit, and that's something that it might be tough to change, but you can definitely change.
Is it up to the private company to hire who and hire who they want when they want?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, especially when it's a choice on that person's part.
Okay, Heather, thanks so much for your call. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lynn.
Good to hear from
Bye-bye.
you. Thanks. I'm going to go really quickly through some of these Facebook comments so that as many people get on the air as possible. Jimmy says he doesn't see a problem with it. Americans complain so much about the cost of health care. He thinks Americans should be willing to help themselves by being more healthy. Carla says, oh, please think of all the other habits people have that cost us. Lack of exercise, eating habits, drinking, even moderately. This list can go on. And Mark says very simply, I agree with this new policy. It's not just smokers that drive up the cost of health care. It's unhealthy lifestyle choices as well. We're giving you a chance to weigh in, so feel free. Email me, lynn@lynndoyle.net.
This is what I don't understand. I don't understand why a lot of people are saying, well, it's a slippery slope. If you're going to start with smokers, then the rest. Well, okay, I mean, if our whole point is to encourage people to have a healthy lifestyle, this is not the government saying you're not allowed to smoke. This is private employers who are saying in our workplace we want a healthy workforce. And we're going to start with smokers because it's it's a habit that you're allowed to change, that you can change, because it is a lifestyle choice that we are here to support you if you choose to give up. We have all kinds of wellness programs. Why is it that being a slippery slope is somehow a bad thing? Why can't you encourage good behavior one bad habit at a time?
You can encourage good behavior, and you should encourage good behavior. There's nothing wrong with being supportive and helping. If you want to help somebody, talk to them about it. Maybe you'd be supportive of it as an employer. But don't make the decision of whether or not somebody can do the job and do it best solely on that basis. If that's your factor, if you're saying don't apply, you're a smoker, don't apply, what you're saying is I'm not even going to think about whether or not you can do the job, and how does that help the employer?
But you're supporting the government telling private entity what to do when at the same time the government is the world's biggest discriminator against these same smokers. You're going to force them to accept these people into their workforce. And again, if they're going to make a decision that is a bad business decision, that's exactly what this legislation does. In 30 states, it forces employers to hire smokers or not to discriminate against them based on their status as smokers. And by the way, if you want to talk about slippery slopes, we cannot extend protected classes to groups like smokers. We need to keep those the things that you're born with, the things you can't change. You start extending it to people who have bad habits, you're running down a real slippery slope.
All you're saying is it's not the fact.
We are rapidly running out of time, but Mike, very quickly, people are saying this is like it being in Nazi Germany. Is it that severe?
The question is this the right thing to do? And when I advise clients and they call me and say, should we have an anti-smoker policy? Number one, it's illegal in 30 states. So the people have judged in 30 states this is unfavorable. It's going to cause litigation. People are suing for invasion of privacy. They're suing because it violates ERISA. It's a dangerous way to go. It's a lazy judgment. You're not making judgments based on whether they can do the job. You're making some moralistic big brother judgment about smokers. And it's insulting the dignity of your employees.
Here's a really interesting comment on Facebook. It's like, how about saying people who have too many kids or have too many dependents, that would raise healthcare costs as well. So you know what? It could be a slippery slope. Who knows? We want to know what you think. So email me at lynn@lynndoyle.net. You can tell us what you think there. If you were unable to get through on our telephone lines, we are also on Facebook, and we always ask you to like us when you're there as well. This is a debate that will continue, I'm sure. Thank you so much for being part of it today. Amy and Danny, good to have you guys back. And Edith and Mike, wonderful to have you here as well. As always, we thank you for watching. Until the next time, my thanks to my crew and to you as well. Good night.